Hello, good evening. Warm welcome to you. Welcome back to Competitive Speed Series. My name is Frostbreath, or Rob, if you prefer to call me that. And we are back for the next round on the calendar. Let's have a little look at that particular calendar. This is round 3. We're not that far into the season yet, and already things are looking pretty exciting. Saudi Arabia, one of the tightest tracks, I have to say, in terms of the walls being very close to the track itself, and therefore also probably one of the scariest tracks around. So it's definitely going to be very interesting to see what the drivers can do in this race. A short qualifying is coming up, followed by 25 laps of racing here, because the track, you know, it's pretty long. You can expect some lap times, 1 minute 28, 27 probably. Let's see how fast everybody can go. Speaking of everybody, the standings as they are at the moment are like this. Team TF10 is still in the lead of the championship, followed by ET8. Well, more or less about 30 points behind, a little less than that. Then TTM is still very close to ET8. NLR is sitting in 4th right now after a decent performance last time round. CPI in P5, then ZNT, aka Zenith F1, is sitting in P6, just behind CPI, only 2 points separating the both. FVR in 7th, then ABS P8, Team GeForce, aka TGF in P9, and EVE sitting in last place with 5 points on the board at the moment. Biggest surprise in terms of their position in the championship, I would say, is FVR. They've been, from what I've seen, a very decent teamwork as well. Their pace is quick, and therefore I'm a little bit surprised to see them sitting around in 7th place, but it's only the 3rd round in the season, and as such, still plenty of opportunity to make things work. We're heading to the track already. Collisions have been turned off ever since the last round. The cars have been set to the F1 World Cars ever since the last round as well. Meaning that we'll be having a restart of the lobby after qualifying before the race. And we're going to have to keep a close eye on the minimap to make sure we can spot plenty of drivers along in qualifying. Here we go though. The time has come at long last to turn off the standings list and get you guys into the track. There it is. Turning on the lap data as per usual and the track map. You can see the very snake-like structure of more like a tadpole-ish structure of this track, I have to say. With wider Sector 3 and very narrow, slithery parts of Sectors 1 and 2. One of the cars heading out already. Normally I would say it's an Aston Martin, but this time all I can say it's a black car. At least on the minimap, and it's Leo Tonelato for ET8. They are a very fancy black, white and red livery. One of the prettier ones, I have to say, on the grid. He's heading out first. Currently going through one of the trickier bits on the track, I have to say. Sector 1 appears, in my opinion at least, the trickiest one. Especially coming out of, turn 7, I believe. The curbs on the left side. Very scary indeed there. Apparently FVR should actually be P8. According to my main man Ace in the chat. That's not really up to their standards, I'm sure. That this time they've brought Gabriel Quintino. And let's see, Toppe. And I've seen Toppe drive before. He's very, very fast, as is Gabriel Quintino. So tonight FVR have brought in the big guns, so to say. Toppe's car looking exceptionally pink. There are several other pink cars out there tonight as well. But we're going to switch our attention to the man who came out first out on track. That's Leo Tonelato. We haven't seen him in the race this season yet, at least in this series. And here he goes. Let's follow him on board as he approaches turns 1 and 2. To the left, straight back to the right. Oh, that was too much of the inside, and the lap is over immediately. Invalidated on turn 2. Let's hope that's not something of a trend for Leo. Otherwise, this is going to be a long and difficult night. Next one out then, I believe, is one of the white cars on the minimap at least. Or he might be on an outlap. So let's just switch our attention to Toppe. I'm talking about him a little bit before. For FVR, he hasn't been validated in turn 2 yet. But there's plenty of corners where you can still do so. notorious for that. This curb, that's what I was talking about. It's still very, very nasty if you go a bit too wide on that corner exit. And you will be going off track automatically, so to say. 31.808 as he approaches the hairpin. Tiny bit of battery recharge. CPI retires. Or the Polkis does. TGF, Christian Lubinov as well. I believe they have some qualifying bans to serve. Also not sure about TF10 as both drivers joined on the clock. I'm not sure whether it counts as late when you join on the clock precisely at 9 PM. Maybe, may not be. Otherwise they would have to serve a qualifying ban at the very least as well, I believe, from the top of my head. Topper though, looking very quick, as we can expect from him. As he approaches turn 27. Yes, there's 27 corners. There we go. Lucas Beisner, first lap time of the night. 27.4, 27.2 by Mark Schluter, and Topper 26.8. There you go, stamping his mark immediately in the qualifying session with a hell of a banker lap. It's well over actually just 3/10 clear. But Kanakinchi for TF10 goes faster, more, and he goes to win 26.7. So, TF10, FVR kicking it off in style. Gabriel Cantino just started his hot lap. Let's switch to Tristan Derbecourt for a ZNT. He's just approaching the final corner of this track. Several cars ahead of him finishing as well. Isaac Lead sliding into third position. There goes, I believe, Jelte Korsman into P5 and Tristan Derbecourt in P3. 3 places ahead of his teammate at the moment. 27.2 for Jelte Korsman. The Dutchman for the first time since qualifying night representing his team. And it looks like ZNT, at least for now, looking quite strong. Kanakinchi in first, Lucas Beiser in 9th for TF10. That's a bit of a bigger difference. FVR in second. And Gabriel Cantino, of course, still has to finish his lap. He's on his way right here. Maximilian Lukert in the chat saying that he's going to go for a 26.5. That would be an extraordinary banker lap. The middle sector is purple, 1 minute 0.0. So it's looking quite strong at the moment. Never mind, 0.7 first. That would bring him very close to Kanakinchi. Final corner. Gabriel Cantino. The black and purple livery. What can he bring to the table for FVR? They need a good result. There we go, 27.0. A little bit off your prediction, Max. But nonetheless, still good enough for P3. As we switch our attention to a driver in the team that are defending their title, NLR, Adam Kristan, unfortunately hasn't validated his lap. Stays 16th for now. His teammate Ivan Santamaria, he's out on track as well. Their famous bright green stripes on the car. He's headed to the start-finish line to see what he can do. So far, he's had a fairly decent season. He's made a bit of a comeback. I've seen him drive around in several other leagues and series as well. Can't help but notice his upward trend, and that of course is good news for the team. Because to defend their title, they'll need a bit more performance from their drivers. Let's see if Ivan Santamaria can do that for them. Turn 1 there for the Spaniard. Looking quite decent. The car appears quite stable. Turn 3 then. With a easy corner. Tight left-hander. Very tight indeed. Trickiest part then of this track. Let's see how he is going to take the curb right here. He doesn't even take it at all. Completely ignores it as if it doesn't exist. Continues on though. First sector 31.7. Not bad. 11 minutes remain. Most banker laps are in. This is Ivan's banker lap. Lighty is on his way as well for TTM. His teammate René Klein currently sitting in P8. Just behind Jelte Korsman. 14 milliseconds separating the both. And then behind René is Pascal Renielli for ABS. So far the best ABS driver, because Florian Pranzelter has yet to set his lap time. We know Florian though to be very quick as well. Ivan Santamaria on the final part of the track. What lap time is he going to post? His teammate wasn't able to do the first one properly. Invalidated. Turn 27 then. What's he going to be across the line? It's going to be a 27-0, P5. Just behind Gabriel Coutinho. Also, we're going to have a little look at EVE with Daniel, currently sitting in 13, 27.6, but there's Mr. Hollywood. I believe might get, or at least a very warning for his tag, which is not done correctly, I think. At 28.6, that is almost a second of his own teammates. It's not looking good then for EVE at the moment. They are still in last place in the standings. They have to up their game. So far, it's looking like quite the struggle. Kanakinchi just started his second attempt. What can he do? Can he go quicker than this? We've seen some predictions for a 26.4 in the chat, but he's invalidated. So, Kanakinchi can't do it. We switched from a bright red car to the bright pink car of Toppe, who's on his way as well. Let's see what he can do out of the first sector. It's about a 10th quicker, 31.6. On his way at the moment to a provisional pole position, but there's more drivers on their way. Florian Vanselt, for example, he's just done his hot lap. He's gone third fastest, 26.9. That's good news for ABS, because they've got something to prove. They would like to improve their standings as well in the championship. One of, I would consider, two veteran teams, ABS and NLR. I've seen them around for a long time now. Lucas Beiser does a massive improvement, goes fourth fastest. Good news for TF10, who find themselves with 2 cars in the top 5. Same goes for FVR, of course. As Toppe can do some good business for his team. He's following another very pink car. That is Isaac Leet for CPI. Polkus is retired for the team, but Isaac Leet is doing a good job so far. P8, there goes Toppe. There's the first 26.5. And he takes provisional pole for now. Let's see if we can follow somebody else. Let's actually follow the other pink car of Isaac Leet. 27.1 at the moment. Just ahead of Mark Schluter. As René Klein actually goes faster than him now. Pushes him down to 9th. René now 8th fastest. There's now 3 drivers with a 27.1 on the boards. Oh, there goes Isaac Leet. That was an obvious corner cut and an end to his hot lap. Now we might have a little look at Daniel. He abandons his lap. There is Mr. Hollywood, 1.5 tenths up in the first sector. He is going to need to find a lot more time than that to get anywhere close to provisional pole. 1 second faster is still not enough. It will only improve him ahead of his teammate. For P13, it's not what you like to see. Although I have to keep in mind the top 15 awards points in a league like this, or series, sorry. 3 tenths up in the middle sector, still not good enough. Maybe he made a big mistake on the final sector then. Might have outbraked himself on the final corner. We'll find out soon enough what his true pace is, since we followed him around for a bit now. Oh, it's all perfectly fine. Oh, never mind, doesn't look perfectly fine at all. Completely jinxed that one. And an abandonment of that lap comes in straight away. Let's hope for Mr. Hollywood's sake that his car is fine. As we switch our attention to, I was going to switch it to Leo Tonelato. As he is about to cross the line. 1:00 across the line, our second sector. Wow. ET8 mixing themselves in the fight for provisional pole with a 26er as well. 26.9 from Leo Tonelato. Mark Schluter's got some work to do. He's won the first race this season. Finds himself in 12th at the moment. Jelte Korsman is what I wanted to watch. Who I wanted to watch. He's done his hot lap already. Sits in P10. 1 millisecond slower than René Klein. Lucky man, apparently, Mr. Hollywood. Well, the tap wasn't that big, to be fair. And he probably hit the wall a bit too sideways-ish to make sure his front wheel smashed off. So I think he was quite safe there. Might be some non-visual damage though. Ivan Santamaria once again. Doing strong work for NLR. Adam Crestan still has yet to put in a lap time. There's 5.5 minutes remaining. But this could very well be his one and only proper attempt. Many drivers still sitting in the pit. Several drivers coming out for their potential last attempt. Mark Schluter has started his just moments ago. Pascal Ranielli, Mr. Hollywood, Adam Crestan on their way. 89 milliseconds for Ivan Santamaria. I want to switch my attention though to Mark Schluter. We've watched Ivan Santamaria for a while now. We've seen him do one hot lap already. I'd like to spread my attention to as many drivers as possible. And Mark Schluter has some time to find. The poll is complete in the chat. FVR is going to take pole position. According to the 17 people who voted, TF10 comes in second. And then there's NLR and ZNT, but don't count out ABS or ETA yet either. They've got drivers in the 26s as well. Could they pull off a surprise then? I wonder. I mean, ET8, we've seen them win a race already. The first one, with this man, pulling off a brilliant move in the final 2 laps in intermediate conditions. Now, intermediate conditions is not what you're going to see here. If you look at that, a 59.7 in the middle sector. Now that is extraordinarily fast. Half a second quicker already. It's at least going to be a 26.7. This is the level of Mark Schluter we'd like to see and we've come to expect. Below the 1 minute in the middle sector is a promising lap time for Mark Schluter as he now is about to cross the line. What time is it going to be? It's a 1 minute 26.7, third position for now, but I'm afraid that is his final attempt done there, unless he comes in real quick. 26.782. I think the team is going to be very happy about that one. Timmy certainly is in the chat. So, Mark, on behalf of your team, well done. Mr. Hollywood, for another attempt to improve his lap, same goes for Daniel. He's a bit behind his teammate. EVE is definitely on the back foot. So far in terms of qualifying pace, appears to be the weakest team. CPI not looking that strong either, with only Isaac Lead able to pull in a lap. And then, of course, there's TGF who doesn't qualify at all. Firstly, because... Oh, there goes Mr. Hollywood. Attempt over. No improvement for him. Stays 16th at best. There's still Adam Crestan, who's actually come in again. Looks like his qualifying is not going as planned. So we can switch our attention to Daniel. What lap time will he find on this attempt? For EVE to get themselves into the top 10 would be quite an achievement. For them, quite a victory, so to say. Little touch there with the wall on the rear right. Across the line, 27.5. It's an improvement, but it's minimal, and he stays 15th fastest. Looks like this night might be a struggle then for the Evershow Racing team. Hollywood putting on a show. Well, he's named Mr. Hollywood for a reason, I guess. And now look at the pit entry, or pit exit lane, just emptying itself of all possible drivers that can still do a hot lap. I think even Mr. Hollywood could do something. Mark Schluter has run out of time. Lucas Beiser, I have to say, though, his livery is looking very, very fancy. He's gone for the gold one. Gold and black always works well together. Let's see if he can make this lap gold as well. He needs to find exactly 0.4 of a second to become equal with Toppe, who is currently topping the leaderboards. Of course, if you can find 1 millisecond more than that, it's good enough for a provisional pole. But then again, everybody else around him is going for their final attempts as well. It's Toppe from Kennekinchi, Mark Schluter, Florian Pfanzelter, and this man, Leo Tondelato, for their final attempts. Mark Schluter is done. Toppe has invalidated his previous attempt. Stands with a 26.5 as the fastest, and Leo Tondolato's qualifying is over as well. He's invalidated his one coming out of turn 2. Not the first time that's happened. So there's the pink car. He hasn't gone for the team livery whatsoever, just wanted to go with a bright pink car. What's the first sector going to be? A 1/10 improvement. Will we see the 26-4 that people have been predicting in the chat? Not by Topper though. They were thinking Mark Schluter was going to do it. But Mark is done. Strong first sector. FVR needs a strong result tonight to stay in the championship fight, even if it's only 3 rounds in. Staying in 8th place is not ideal. Daniel is retired as well now. The checkered flag has fallen. Ooh, very much on the limit there. Purple middle sector. I didn't see the improvement there, sorry. You guys probably did though. Topper is potentially going to put an absolute flyer. Final corner. We see somebody cross the line there. Not sure who that was. That's one of the ET8 cars over there. Leo Tonelato, of course, was invalidated, but look at Topper's time. 26.4. Who can match that? Kanakinchi certainly can't. He's invalidated. Florian Pfanzelt is invalidated as well. Oh, dearie me. Lucas Beisner too. Is anybody improving? Gabriel Coutinho. No, he's 1.4 seconds up. There, I believe, was Tristan Debecour going 8th fastest. I'm not sure if it was him. Someone, please give me something. No, not Lighty. René Klein, perhaps. Nope, not him. Pascal Ranieri. 3/10 quicker through the middle sector. It's not going to be pole position, but certainly going to be improvement. And Christian, 10th fastest. Pascal going to P8. Looks like nobody can mount the challenge to Topper. He's the fastest man out of the track here tonight. He's proving his speed once again. And the pink livery might be working in his favor. Gabriel Quintino retired, stays in his old lap time. And he's going to start from 12th. So while they've got one car pole position, the other FVR car is only going to start from P12. And their main rivals are a bit further up ahead. TF10, for example. Lucas Beisner, Kanakinchi. On average, slightly better. That, though, concludes this short qualifying in Saudi Arabia, and let's watch the results properly. Topper on pole position, Kanakinchi second, then Mark Schluter, Florian Pfanzelt, Isaac Lead completing the top 5, followed by Leo Tonelato, Ivan Santamaria, Pascal Ranieri, Tristan Debecourt, and Lucas Beisner completing the top 10, followed by Adam Christan, Gabriel Quintino, Lighty and René Klein for TTM right behind one another. Jelte Korsman only P15. He's done such a brilliant qualifying night. Daniel P16, Mr. Hollywood, 17th, and Polkes and Christian Lubinov without a lap time because of their qualifying bans. And now all we have to do is wait for the race to come in. That does allow me to go for a little bit of a break. I've had a long day of work, so I'm extremely tired at the moment. So I'll take my breaks when I can, and this is a good opportunity to do so. So in a few minutes, you will rejoin me for the race. 25 laps coming up in obvious dry conditions. Until then, enjoy a little bit of music. Welcome back. The time is almost upon us. The lobby has just gone on its way to the race. Collisions are back on. The cars and drivers are ready to get going. An interesting thing to note, and that was said in the chat as well, the TTM drivers were 1 millisecond apart. Shows that their pace is very, very equal indeed tonight. But they have to fight from 13th and 14th. That's going to be a struggle for one of the veteran teams. Let's hope they can make up some ground when the lights go out. First and foremost though, drivers have to pick their strategy. Their race strategy. What tires will I want to start on? How much fuel do we put in the car? But more importantly still, car setup needs to be picked again. Otherwise it's going to be a huge struggle for many drivers. So let's hope they don't forget. Let's hope they have enough time to get things done. Here we are waiting for them to get ready. Another thing to keep in mind is that since there is no official F1 cars, that some drivers might accidentally double stack in the pit lane, because while they have their own teammates in their team, they might accidentally have become teammates in the pit box with other drivers. That might cause a problem and a half. It might cost you a few seconds on track. And might ruin your race, especially if you're fighting at the front. But we'll see. Let's hope for everybody's sake that things will be going nice and easy. Safety car likeliness, I'd say it's very high, considering the level of aggressiveness we've seen a few times now with inter-team racing. And the walls being this close to the track. It's very harsh on mistakes and aggressive racing. That's what we've learned so far. Trying to find a track map for my own reference as well. Always useful. There we are. 25 laps times 27 corners. Well, you can do the math, and I will do the commentary, if that's alright with you folks. And after all of those laps and corners, we'll know which team will come out best. And will TF10 able to extend? Will TF10 be able to extend their advantage, or will ET8 be able to close the gap? They are in 3rd and 6th at the moment, ET8. But we're going to find out very soon as the lights go on at this moment, and they will be going off right now as the 3rd round officially gets underway here in Abu Dhabi. Kanakinchi well off the line, top of row. It looks like Mark Schluter is much better off the line. Almost challenged there, Kanakinchi for 2nd place. But there's Florian Vanzelter trying to go around the outside, out of turn 2. Nearly lost control of the car right there. There's Isaac Lead for CPI going around Leo Tonelato for P5. He's had a brilliant start. Ivan Santamaria sitting in 7th. Several position swaps in the back of the field as well. Jelte Korsman now down to 16th. There's Lucas Beisner with Adam Christan going up for P10 at the moment. I believe he's lost one position there. I think he started in 9th from the top of my head. Nonetheless, though, still very close to the starting position either way. We saw there Gabriel Quintino going side by side with Lighty and successfully passing. Now a yellow flag as Daniel spun out and finds himself at the back of the field without any help, without any DRS. Let's turn on those tire information thingies. We are seeing Tristan Derbecourt on the soft tires, interestingly. ZNT going for a risky strategy with one of their drivers. Jelte Korsman, their other driver, is now at the back on mediums. And the top 6, only one driver on the hard. That's Leo Tonelato, who now has to take on a driver on the soft tires behind him. It's going to be a challenge. Jelte and Lighty fighting hard for position in the final corner. And the first lap has finished already. Toppe from Kanakinchi, Mark Schluter, Florian Vanzelter and Isaac Lead. That's your top 5 for now. There's Tristan Derbecourt, but Leo Tonelato absolutely doesn't want him to get past. He wants those soft tires to burn up. He's got no choice but to let him through. There's Ivan Santamaria on the inside as well. Can he make the move? Oh, I believe that was a near-on big collision. Leo nearly lost control of the car. Ivan Santamaria, though, has managed to get past. NLR up in 7th and 11th right now. Still not good enough to put up a proper title defense. We have to admit that one. Let's see what more ground they can make up. Gabriel Contino is on the roll. Next car past is now Adam Christan. Can he keep it there though? No, Adam Christan gets back past, but there's DRS now, which will go open for most of the cars right here. Who's going to make a move where? These cars appears to be closest at the moment. As they now head into turn 22. Looks like Christan might be under pressure again from Contino once more. There's also Beisner challenging Ranieri for position. And there does Contino go once again. This time in the final corner and moving past permanently. He will still get DRS from the car ahead. Kanakinci now with the fastest lap of the race and closing in on top for the lead of the race. Mark Schluter sitting in third for now. Florian Vanzelter struggling to keep up. The gap has increased to 0.8 of a second and increases more very slowly. Isaac Lead is able to keep up with him, and there is still Tristan Derbecourt on the soft tires. He is very fast for now, but that won't last for another 3 or 4 laps, and then the tires will drop off fast. I wonder what the reasoning is behind this strategy for Tristan Derbecourt. I want to see where he started actually. Started in 9th. So if it is to make up as many positions as possible, it doesn't work that well yet. He's still harassing Isaac Lead for P5. It appears Isaac Lead is putting up a feisty defense for now. Although to be fair, Tristan hasn't been able to attack yet. Toppa and Kanakinci in the meanwhile for the lead of the race. Akinci is closing in more and more. And he's going to make the move here. What's Toppa going to do? Is he going to go defensive? Looks like he is slightly defending his position. There's Mark Schluter as well. The top 3 is now all together. Florian Vanzelter. He's barely hanging on to DRS right there. He's lucky they were so close together, the top 3, that he's able to get this DRS once more. But there's Isaac Lead with a much better run from the final corner. As now Ivan Santamaria sets the fastest lap of the race. Isaac Lead up into P4. Top 3 is not gone yet from the rest of the field. Jelte Korsman very close to Lucas Beisner. Gabriel Contino has already passed the German. Up into P10. He's making up ground fast now. His qualifying was less than ideal. And his race pace definitely seems to be there, at least for now. Got a poor exit though, when I said that, coming out of turn 10. And he's going to have to defend a little bit. Bad news for him though is that he's not able to keep up with Pascal Ranieri. He's got a gap of more than a second now, and he's got one small opportunity here to make it up. But his battery light is flashing, meaning he was recharging his ERS. Look, that was a proper corner exit, but it's not good enough to get the DRS. This might be a problem then for Gabriel Contino, chasing the top 9. Gap now increased to 1.3. The corners appear to be fine, but then it's the straight line speed that's not in his favor anymore. Top will be taking the lead from Kanakinci. He lets him through easily. Oh dearie me, Gabriel Contino now lost 2 more positions to the other 2 cars. They are going to have to tow one another along to the lead group. But they don't want to wait too long. Now Lucas Beisner leads the group, and there comes Jelte Korsman to take the lead. See some feisty defense from Polkis from behind. He has to let... Oh! I was about to say he's going to have to let Rene Klein pass, but he really didn't want him to pass, so he cuts the corner. And Polkis retakes 15th place. Rene will probably not be too amused with that. Unless Polkis was pushed up, of course. We didn't see exactly what happened there. Nonetheless, Polkis retains P15 for now. And the DRS as well from the car ahead. Ivan Santamaria now on Tristan Derbecourt. The soft tires are about to give up, and Ivan is making the most of it. He gets past the ZNT driver up to P6. His teammate Adam Christan sitting in 13th at the moment. Just barely ahead of Lighty and just barely behind Gabriel Contino. Here he is. Lighty and then Adam Christan. Gabriel Contino a bit further ahead. He is barely keeping up with Lucas Beisner. In fact, he is not keeping up with Lucas Beisner anymore. Does he still get DRS though? That's the question. He doesn't. Ooh, that's a major loss. The other two cars have been able to connect to the top 9 and have now become a group of 11, but Gabriel Contino is struggling. And he's not able to get the gap back to below a second out of the final corner either. And Jelte Korsman is now the fastest man of them all. He is making moves, as is Adam Christan on Gabriel Contino. Up the NLR run goes into 12th place. Whoop, there was Lighty nearly going to 2 wide. Very enthusiastic driving. TTM also struggling this race. It's TTM, EVE and TGF that potentially, if it stays like this, are not going to score many points. CPI is a bit of a mixed bag, with Isaac Leet in 4th and Polkus in 15th, on the verge of the points at the moment. As Mr. Hollywood gets a penalty. I believe Daniel's already gotten a penalty as well for track limits. And EVE's day is getting worse. Their 5 points on the board will not improve by much tonight. At least for now. 6 laps in though, still plenty of time, plenty of laps to go. There's always a chance for a safety car. There goes Gabriel Contino, back past Adam Christan. With the gap now up to almost 1.5 seconds. That there was nearly a warning there for Gabriel. Back to the lead, especially there. Leo Tonelato and Tristan Derbecourt for 7th and 8th. Leo getting past the Z&T driver. He's now sinking through the field pretty much. The soft tires are dead. Oh, somebody's coming in already. It's Gabriel Contino, I believe. No, it's Pascal Ranieri. It's an extraordinarily early pit stop. Nearly came to a halt at the pit entry as well. Not sure what's going on there. Is there front wing damage? No, he's going for a very, very, very early undercut. I wonder why. Back at the lead of the race with Kan Akinci leading from top. Mark Schluter, Isaac Lead, and now Ivan Santamaria in P5. Florian Vanzelter has also fallen through the field a little bit. Still though, P6. Plenty of points for the ABS team now with Pascal Ranieri. Far behind the rest with a very early pit stop. And it was definitely a scheduled one because no front wings were replaced. So if this is going to work out for him, he'll pull off a master class in strategy. But I think it's too early. I mean, even Tristan hasn't stopped. And he's on the softs, which are currently much worse than the mediums. Much, much worse, because look at this. There goes his own teammate, Jelte Korsman. Ahead now of Tristan Derbecourt. P8, Jelte is really making moves, and he's still within DRS range of the next car, which so happens to go into the pit lane. No, actually, that's Florian Vanzelter. And Lucas Beisner also going in for the pit stop. Pretty early. These medium tire users are coming in. Either that or Tristan is keeping it extremely late. He's now trying to tow himself along with his sim teammate. There's also very close battling up ahead. Isaac Lead had nearly made a move on Mark Schluter for 3rd. He has to stay in behind in 4th for now. There's the end of sector 1. We approach turn 13 now. Van and Leo fighting hard. Still on each other's tail. And Ivan probably likes being at this position. It's good points with the title defenders. And Adam Christan is doing a good job as well. But he has to defend from a feisty Lighty. There he goes, already passed. As they approach the DRS zone. It actually went past before DRS even went open. Must mean that Christan has made a mistake. Coming out of turn 18. Perhaps 17. But now Adam, though, does get the DRS. Maybe it's something he wanted. Mark Schluter and Top are swapping positions. And several drivers from the top of the field coming in as well. Kanakinchi, Topper, Isaac Lee, Jelta Korsman, all switching their tires now. I wonder if they're going to double stack. Oh, that's disaster for Topper. He's in the same pit box as his nearest rival. This is a major downside of using the F1 World cars, but hey, the teams voted for it. That's their loss. And a big loss for Topper. He's lost at least 3-4 seconds. Not sure if that's worth swapping the car types. And now he finds himself in 15th. And there's still, of course, cars that have to make their pit stop. But this is the worst case scenario. Being in the same pit box as your nearest rival. Yeah, I mean, I'm supposed to stay objective, but why on earth would you want to go with the F1 World cars? There, I've said it. Ivan Santamaria, Leo Tonelato, and Mark Schluter make up the top 3 at the moment. They have yet to stop. Leo Tonelato, of course, will stay out a little bit longer, but he's done a seriously good job on staying this close on the hard tires. And now he's got all the track to himself. Leo Tonelato, all alone on the hard tires in the lead of the race. Lighty, of course, staying out, as is René Klein. The TTM drivers will have to work together to make up as much ground as possible now, because they're all going to be undercut by those switching to the hards. But they will have the medium tires in the second stint. Now Christian Lubinov. Oh, there we go. Ivan Santamaria. I was about to say, he can enjoy a little bit of P7 there, but he's getting absolutely swarmed by everybody on fresh tires. Look at this. He's got nowhere to go. The tires are much slower at the moment. Now Daniel even wants to get past, and he's on equally old tires, but it's the mediums. There goes Gabriel Cantina now with a 3-second time penalty. What happened with Topper? Well, the F1 World cars happened with Topper. Daniel also has to yield now from Tristan Derbecourt, who has gone on to fresh mediums. That's interesting. He's stopped. Well, of course, he started on the softs and now he's going for the mediums. He's going for an extraordinary strategy. Isaac Leaf, Mr. Hollywood swapping positions. Not surprising since Hollywood's tires are old. But this man we're going to have to watch for ZNT with an all or nothing strategy, I think. That's safe to say. His teammate is right behind. He was actually ahead before the pit stops. But many positions are being swapped at the moment. The traffic is being rid of. And Mr. Hollywood is still going round on his 10-lap old medium tires. Maybe he's going to do the all or nothing strategy that Tristan does. Only vice versa. Mark Schluter fighting Ivan Santamaria for position. He was in third, and now Ivan Santamaria is ahead, so Ivan could be on his way for a podium. In fact, it's Kanakinchi as the de facto race leader. Isaac Lead in second now, and Ivan Santamaria in third. Mark Schluter finds himself in fourth all of a sudden. And there is Tristan Derbecourt with his interesting strategy. He's very close to the podium still, but he's stuck behind Mr. Hollywood. And now he's going to get the DRS, but so is Mr. Hollywood, but he's got much more grip. There goes Tristan Derbecourt. And we also see the teammates of René Klein and Lighty fighting there for position. Well, not really fighting, just working together is more the appropriate term. As they're doing all in their power to go as fast around as they can. Pushing as hard as possible on these old hard tires. They have to make it last a little bit longer. But they can use Tristan as a sort of reference to see how long those mediums last at the second half of the stint. Because he has to make them last for more than half of the race. And if he can do that, then the top 3 will have a breeze in the final stint. There he is. And he's doing a brilliant job of now harassing Mark Schluter for position. So ZNT could be on course for a proper podium. And maybe even a win if these tires stay alive for long enough. You have to keep in mind though, these mediums are 1 lap older than all of those hard tires, or most of those hard tires, with the exception of Bison and Van Zelters. Not teammates, by the way. Both German, not teammates. Van Zelter finding himself in 9th at the moment. 3 cars still have to pit. And that means he'll be in P6 once again. And Toppa's bad luck continues because he's out of DRS range of the cars he fought for the win. He'll be a very displeased man. Very much so. Christian Lubinov with Daniel at the moment here, fighting for some lower positions, just on the verge of the points. But look at these positions swapping all around. Ken Akinci is now fighting for the lead with Isaac Lead and Ivan Santamaria. And now Isaac Lead, the de facto race leader from Ken Akinci and Ivan Santamaria. Ivan is potentially going to challenge him in turn 1. But there is Ken Akinci potentially challenging Lead in turn 1. No, he isn't. Would have been a bit too far away, but it was very close to going for a move there. He was definitely trying to force Lead into a mistake, but Isaac doesn't yield that easily. From what I've seen so far, Isaac Lead's a very stable driver. And Adam Crestan, oh, he's crashed out of the race! What happened there then? Whoa, there he is! That looks pretty disastrous, and frankly for that there's only a virtual safety car. This race keeps boggling my mind. That should have been a full course safety car, but because the car was almost on the track. It was at least in a dangerous position. But a virtual safety car, if it stays out long enough, will be an absolute blessing for Tonelato, Lighty and Klein. And TTM might have the biggest luck in the world, because they have 2 cars that can pit right now under safe conditions. But they'll have to pray that the virtual safety car stays out for a bit longer. How long is the safety car going to last here? Leo will obviously pit. He's closest right now. He's entering now. He will lose the least amount of time. Let's see if he's going to come out in the lead. In fact, I think he might be. Leo Tonelato, who was fighting in the top 7, is going to have an extraordinarily healthy lead. Or is he? Look on your left side of the screen. There's Isaac Lead. Here is Leo Tonelato. He doesn't have to take turn 1 and 2. And look at the gap he's created with him for himself. And there, oh, he's gonna drive through. He's gone too fast. What has he done? And there goes Lighty with a 10-second time penalty as well. Leo Tonelato, that would have been the victory of the day. And he thrown it out of the window by being too fast. There's no other way of putting it, but he's been too fast. Unreal. The biggest opportunity of your life. And it's done for. That is the worst possible thing to happen. Look at this, a 4-second lead to the next car. That would have been a dream come true for ETA to win the 2nd race this season out of 3. Mark Schluter in Great Britain. Would have been Leo Tonelato in Saudi Arabia, but it's not happening. Unless something miraculous happens, and I don't see that happening anytime soon, unfortunately. So the battle between the leaders remains with this group. Isaac Lead, Ken Akinci, Ivan Santamaria, Tristan Derbecourt, Mark Schluter, Jelte Korsman, and even Lucas Bijsner and Florian Van Zelter are still in with a shot. And with this fighting, Toppa is slowly closing the gap. But he's still miles up from winning the race. Position swapping. Whoa, there is Isaac Lead from 2nd now to 4th position. With Ken Akinci and Ivan Santamaria now passed. As Akinci is now the new race leader. Oh, look at that. Isaac Lee has to go defensive from Tristan Derbecourt. Tristan is on a roll. He wants the lead of the race as long as his mediums will allow him to. He started on the soft, switched to the mediums very early on lap 11. Well, he had no choice, of course, but I thought it would have gone to the hards, but he hasn't. He didn't want to be on equal ground with anyone in this race. And there he is. Harassing Isaac Leeds for what is effectively third position. That's a podium. Leo Tonelato is stretching this as late as he can. There goes Ken Akinci on Ivan Santamaria. It's getting quite hectic now in the front group. And look at this. 3 wide in the final corner. Things are heating up fast. How long will they keep it clean? We've seen how aggressive and feisty the driving can get for these teams. But so far it looks all healthy and all fine. There comes Jelte Korsman on the inside. Trying to take as many positions as possible. Nearly gets pushed into the wall. But there he goes, up to P5 out of nowhere. The Dutchman right behind his teammate now. And ZNT suddenly find themselves with a potential chance for a 1-2. That would be a great departure from what they've seen so far in this season. And in the most positive way possible, that is. Tristan and Jelte on their way to potentially something special. But Ivan Santamaria for NLR, the title defender, is also has a shot for the win. And of course TF10, as the championship leaders, always have a car in the fight for the win. With Lucas Bison not that far behind either. It's still anybody's game. Which team will win the race? We've seen a poll for the pole position. That one turned out to be correct. But I'd wonder how the poll would look for a race victory. Which team do you guys think is going to take it? With Toppe and Lighty having closed the gap impressively to the lead group. And Leo Tonelato has got no choice but a surface drive through now. And he'll be dropping out of the top 10. This is painful. As Lighty sets the fastest lap of the race. Now once again ahead of Toppe. Barely staying within DRS range. Lighty though having a 3-second time penalty. Ghosting. They are just hanging on by a thread to the group ahead. And they need to connect if they want to have a shot at victory. And then still, they'll have to hope their tires last the distance. But Lighty now on fresh mediums might be able to pull it off. And look at that, how quickly he closes the gap. That's a great benefit for Toppe, who can just tow along. This is all but over, my dear viewers. This fight for the lead between 10 cars. I mean, Lighty, and I know he's got a penalty, but he's very fast. And if he can overtake all of them quickly, then pull the 3-second gap, it would be a miracle, I know. But it would be something special. And we've seen many things that are special happen throughout all of the seasons, all of the races. Ken Akinci still leads. There we are. Ivan Santamaria now leads. Tristan Derbecourt also tries to get past the TF10 car. Whoa, I had to yield there, otherwise it would have turned very ugly for him. And suddenly, 2 ZNT cars in the top 5. Let's see, compared to where they started, especially for Jelte, it's been an absolute blast. His qualifying was not great, 15th. And now he's here in 4th and almost on the podium. There are 7 laps to go after this one. Daniel switched to the softs as well, as you can see on the bottom of the list. But he's 6 seconds away from some points, which are currently being held by Gabriel Quintino. Such a contrast for FVR tonight. With Toppe now potentially once again fighting for the lead, and Gabriel 12 seconds behind P14. This game has not done his race pace any good. Oh my goodness, there nearly was Toppa going into the wall. Nearly made FVR's night much, much worse. That was very, very close. Nearly went horribly wrong there. Fighting everywhere. Ivan Santamaria back down to third from the lead. There goes Tristan Derrico. Now he's gone around him. There's Jelte Korsman once again. This time he manages to go side by side with Ivan Santamaria. Lap 19. Jelte Korsman for the podium. He's got the outside. He forces himself to the inside. Ivan, what's he going to do? He's going for second place as well. With Tristan on those mediums. Fighting with his own teammates. Tristan and Jelte, don't do this. You're working together here. Don't forget you're still teammates. This is a team championship first. And 8 drivers very far second. And this has allowed Ken Akinci to get away a little bit. I think in the heat of the moment, Tristan and Jelte might have forgotten their teammates. Nearly choked there as well. Lighty, whoa, bumped a little bit into the wall there. He's gone ahead far now from Toppa. Toppa is struggling hard to get past these cars. He's probably fuming in that car. Leo Tanalato is only 1.5 seconds away from this group. There goes Florian Vanzelter on Isaac Leet. Isaac Leet, who was leading the race, now finds himself in 9th. He's... Oh my goodness, there was Lighty nearly taking himself out of the race. Back down to 10th he goes, and he'll have to try again. Pink car versus pink car in the meanwhile. With Toppa coming out best. Oh, there goes Lighty with a feisty move on the inside on the last corner on Isaac Leet. And Isaac Leet now at the back of this group. He was at the head a few laps ago. He's sinking through the field fast now. Tristan Derbecourt, Jelte Korsman, Ivan Santamaria in turn 1 as well. Very dangerous to go 3 wide in such a narrow corner. And Lucas Beister now. Whoa! There goes Tristan Derbecourt. His medium tires are getting old and worn now. The 1-2 that I was miraculously predicting for ZNT, not working out well. The all or nothing strategy for Tristan has still paid off as he started from, I believe, 9th place or 10th. And he's still in 4th, so still a great job. Mark Schluter now knocking on the door of the top 4 as he goes past Lucas Beisner. Lucas Beisner now down to P6, but still very close behind the red car. There is Toppa in with a shot once again. But Mark Schluter's not going to give up. He's now going to attack Tristan Derbecourt for P4. We know this man for making last lap moves. Can he do it again? He's very close to the lead. He needs to pass 4 more cars to do it. The first targets ZNT, but there's Lucas Beisner going to make the move on him instead. Oh my goodness, there was contact once again between them. Mark Schluter, Lucas Beisner. And now Beisner is ahead once more, but Schluter and Toppa are very close. This is going to be 3 wide in turn 1 then. Are they actually going to do it? No, but it's absolutely a dive bomb there from Schluter. Did that work out well for him? No, it definitely didn't. Still though, fighting for 4th place. Oh, he's still side by side. You shouldn't be side by side there, but he still tries it anyway. And now they've lost connection to the top 3. Strategy-wise, that move shouldn't have been done by Mark, but he tried it anyway. Now Tristan has to do everything he can to get back to the top 3. Otherwise, it's 3 drivers now fighting for the lead. And the poll with 13 votes for TF10, 61%. Followed by ZNT, then FVR, 7%, and CPI, 0%. I'm surprised that FVR, or NLR, sorry, wasn't in that poll, and that CPI was, because Isaac Leet is in 10th, and Ivan is in 3rd. Now Mark Schroeder gets ahead. It's what he wanted, and he's done it. But 1.3 to the next group is going to hurt him, but look at the amount of time he makes up through the corners. It looks like Mark wanted to tell something to Tristan that he's faster in the corners and he can make up those positions. There goes Ivan Santamaria once again for the lead of the race. Ken Akinci back down to 2nd. Ivan closed the door. Ken Akinci wanted to come back. He couldn't. Because Beisner, Lighty, Tristan Deberkoud now down to 7th place. Might there be some damage then? There is Isaac Lead coming back up. He's slowly climbing the steps. Back up to P6, but the gap now between the 4th and down and the top 3 up to 1.3 seconds. This is the moment where Mark Schluter has to show the others that he can close the gap with the rest. And then maybe his move a lap ago might be justified. There's Toppe gone off. He went off. Race going from bad to worse. Once again, it looks like FVR can't go on their qualifying pace and score some more points. With Toppe from pole position in 8th. Three laps to go after this one. 3.5 then. Jelte Korsman, Ken Akinci, Ivan Santamaria, and Mark has proven his worth. He is now back within DRS range with Lighty, Isaac Leith, Lucas Beister in tow. There goes Ivan Santamaria once again. Trying to take the lead, but Ken Akinci is still there. This might be a last corner move for either of these three. And maybe this man as well, because he can do that. If anyone can do it, he can. Mark Schluter. He's now close to within a car's length, car and a half, more or less, 2 cars perhaps, but it's still very close. Within 4/10 nonetheless. Toppe on his way to re-overtake Lucas Beisner. Beisner dropped down to 7th. He's trying to get closer to his own teammate to make it a TF10 1-2. There's still everything to play for. This is the finale of the finale. The predictions for now at least are correct. Van Santamaria, Jelte Korsman, Mark Schluter, Lighty with his 3-second time penalty will not win the race. And he will drop down quite harshly because right behind him there's still 6 cars within 1 second. He might drop down to something like, well, I wouldn't be surprised if it's P11. Florian Vanzelter, that's the car in P11. There goes Jelte Korsman now for the lead of the race. For ZNT, they'll be cheering it on for sure. As we now start the final 2 laps of the race. Ivan Santamaria now chasing down the TF10 car of Ken Akinci. Jelte Korsman going defensive a little bit into turn 1. He hasn't got to do it really though, because Ken stays behind, charging his battery. Now it's a game of chess pretty much. You need to be in the perfect position to win the race, and right now being in the lead of the race is not the perfect position. Which is though? 2nd, 3rd, 4th? You tell me. Isaac Leeds can no longer hold on to the top 5. Because Beisner is about to attack him, but so is Toppe on Beisner. I think these guys are out of contention for the win. So is Lighty, so it's between 4 drivers now. Jelte Korsman, Ken Akinci, Ivan Santamaria, Mark Schluter. Oh, Mark Schluter wants to go for it already. I mean, he knows Lighty is behind. He knows Lighty got a 3-second time penalty, but still he doesn't want him to get past. That might hamper him on his way to victory. His 2nd victory. A 2nd victory for the team as well. Oh, there he goes. Nearly went off. Was that contact? Was that by his own fault? Couldn't tell from this angle. But let's watch this fight. Ivan Santamaria trying to get past Ken Akinci. Jelte Korsman defending the outside. Ken Akinci staying behind, but Ivan wants to get past. He doesn't want to stay in 3rd. Gets a bad exit therefore. Mark Schluter then closing the gap a little bit. Oh, he's lagging. That's the worst possible thing to happen right now. The final lap, he's lagging. Falling down to P4. Still somehow miraculously there. And he's still attacking somehow for the lead of the race. Oh, there goes Jelte Korsman. Contact then as they approach turn 1. And suddenly a victory for ZNT is gone a little bit more unlikely. And Mark Schluter now in 2nd. He can still do it. He can still make 2 races his own. Yellow flag. Not sure which driver that was. But we're focusing ourselves now. Oh no, he's got a 3-second time penalty. He can no longer do it. Mark Schluter has thrown his victory out of the window. At least for now, because maybe one of the warnings wasn't fairly handled. He's probably going to appeal nonetheless. And now it's between still 3 drivers. Ken Akinci, Ivan Santamaria, Jelte Korsman for the win. DRS wide open. Ken Akinci though pulling a gap, a big one. Is it big enough? I think it is. 3/4 of a second and increasing still. Mark Schluter, Ivan, Jelte Korsman with a last gasp for that position. There goes Ivan Santamaria. Glenning is close. There's Mark Schluter still. He still believes in it despite his penalty. Thinks he can get it removed. There he smashes Ivan into the wall. There's Jelte Korsman. It might be a photo finish for second, but Ken Akinci takes it anyway. He's had the best papers according to the chat, the poll, and many people here. Another victory and points extension for TF10 as they also have Lucas Beister in P6. He nearly took Tristan Debecourt for P5. And Mark Schluter demoted all the way down to 7th place. A bittersweet ending for the man who could have taken a second race win. He'll probably be very happy with his race pace. But the penalty at the end, as you well say, Timmy, hopefully removable. We'll have to wait a few days for that one, for the FIA to make a decision on that one. FVR will have a race to forget. I think it's the only way to describe it. Gabriel Quintino out of the points. Topper with the double stack that he didn't want. He didn't deserve, to be fair. In 8th place. Alright, let's go through the official results in a little bit and see how it all ended. Jelte Korsman, driver of the day, and I think I might agree on that one. Because he went from 15th to 3rd in a race like this. That's incredible. And with a shot at a win. Half a second from the race lead at the end. Ken Akinci then, race winner from Ivan Santamaria. Jelte Korsman in 3rd. Isaac Lead finishing in 4th. Tristan Debecourt with his very alternate strategy in P5. So an incredible job. Many drivers said his soft tire strategy was going to be a big L. But I think this is a big W. Lucas Beisner, P6 from 10th. Decent result for him as well. Mark Schluter, unlucky with the penalty in P7. Might be removable. Then he might still finish in, what's it? Let's see. 0.6. That would be P4. Topper, P8. Race to forget. Florian Vansel to P9. Not very happy there, I think. René Klein from 14th to 10th. Not too bad. Leo Talalato with a drive-through. He would have an easy race lead for a while at least. But now 11th. Lighty in P12. With 10 seconds to his name. I think he might want to appeal that one. Polkus at 13th. Pascal Ranielli. Haven't seen a lot from him, unfortunately. P14. Daniel, P15. Gabriel Quintino, P16. And then Christian Lubinov. Mr. Hollywood with a game crash, apparently. And the only retirement this race on track from Adam Christan. Causing that only virtual safety car. And now we can breathe. Normally, I would tell you I would be doing some interviews, but I do need some rest, so I apologize for not going to do it. So we're going to end it here and now. Let's see what the FIA has to say about the several incidents happening tonight and some penalty removals that might happen due to some track limits happening by defending drivers. Before we go though, I would like to show you the calendar once again, as we're going to go to Azerbaijan next week, and after that is an event that's one of my favorite things of the season, a Mystery Grand Prix. Last time around we got Monaco out of it. I'm hoping something interesting is going to happen this year as well. Not saying in Monaco should be the thing, but at least something interesting. Either way, thank you so much for joining me here tonight in this Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Quite the race. A lot of things happened. Some discussions to come from it as well. Have a great morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. See you next week, same place, same time as usual. Until then, goodbye.